Many small businesses generate great revenue, but suffer from poor cash flow.
Get behind the shield.
Poor cash flow not only restricts the growth of your business, but can bankrupt it.
Get behind the shield.
Is your business holding the burden of payment plans or incomplete account receivables?
Get behind the shield.
Contractors, suppliers, coaches, service providers, and more. If you're holding receivables on your books and it's affecting your cash flow, Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services has the solution.
Get behind the shield.
Call 866-235-4838 to learn how you can have your high-ticket items financed and receive your funding up front without any recourse.
Get behind the shield.
Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services, what your business needs before it needs it.
Welcome to Boss Talk Radio. We're back for an exciting season 3. I want to put this on the screen for you guys. If you are tuning in on any one of your podcast players, you can't see this, so I'm going to tell you what it is. The link is bit.ly/Boss Talk Radio. This is how you catch us on YouTube. So interesting story. This past month, right around the end of the season, Facebook got real critical about censorship or what have you. So we were actually unable to go live on there for over 30 days. And that's okay. And the reason that's okay is because I don't own Facebook, but I own TalkBossRadio.com. So you can catch us there. You can catch us on all of your favorite podcast players from Alexa, Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, as they like to say. A little bit of housekeeping. Of course, you know we have an exciting guest for you guys, so we want you to go ahead and get your pen, your paper, your iPad, whatever it is you do to take copious notes, because you don't want to miss out on the information that is going to be coming to you. And we'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Boss Talk Radio, the #1 online business and entrepreneurial talk show. Brought to you by Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services.
Boss Talk Radio, keeping it real, yeah, that's for sure. I said a Boss Talk Radio, here for your needs, we'll crack the code. He the boss.
He gon' fix your situation like there ain't no time for wasting. We ain't playing when we saying
he the boss.
And if you ever have a problem, he gon' show you how to solve it. Listen in and he'll show you he the boss.
Talk
Here's your host, the Texas tax expert, George Dandridge.
Talk Radio, here for your needs, we'll crack the code. He the boss.
We're here, y'all. It's season 3. Man, I couldn't be more excited. I want to start with thanking every one of you for your continued support. I hope that you guys are really learning a lot from myself and the guests that we have on the show. If you are new to the show, I am George Dandridge Jr., your Texas tax expert. I am an enrolled agent. And for those of you that don't know, that is the only federal license from the Department of Treasury, the highest license that they give, that allows you to represent taxpayers before the IRS. Some of what we do, shout out to the sponsors, Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services first and foremost. That is our primary funding source. And we do IRS audit representation, IRS liens, levies, offers and compromise, innocent spouse, wage garnishments. If you have a tax problem, reach out to us at 866-2ELITE8. That's 866-235-4838. And so some of you don't know that a large part of what we do is business support services. So we offer virtual CFO services, group or business life insurance, entity formation, bookkeeping, payroll, payment processing, business funding, accounting, and of course, business taxes. So we are your one-stop shop to support the back end of business that allows you to do what it is that you do, and that's make your business great. We have some exciting sponsors this season, and rather than tell you about them, I'll just go ahead and show them to you.
Many small businesses generate great revenue.
She cute. Style, comfort, and confidence. Shop with the trend in mind. She cute. Get the latest styles in outerwear, tops, jumpsuits, hats, and accessories. She Cute. Shop from the comfort of your own home with confidence and quality products, hassle-free exchange, and free shipping over $65. She Cute. Visit us online at SheCuteBoutique.com to shop our new fall collection.
Shout out to Chic Cute Clothing, one of our major sponsors for this upcoming year. And we have some others that you're going to see throughout the show and throughout the episodes to come. So this week, let me go ahead and get this schedule together here. This week, we're going to be talking to Miss Dee Bowden, the author of Collect the Cash, Sales Not Complete Until the Money is in the Bank. And I'm excited to have Dee on the show. I'm a little bit more than halfway through the book, and for all that we do in finance and whatnot, I'm still learning stuff, and it's always great. You want to continue to learn whatever your profession, whatever your craft is. You want to continue to advance that thing. And Dee has been in Forbes. She's been in Black Enterprise. She is speaking all around the country and teaching people how to secure the bag. She has collected well over $60 million for outstanding companies and whatnot. So imagine what that looks like. If you've ever had a situation where you were focused on the sales, and let's be honest, that's what most of us do, right? We're focused on the sales. But until the invoices are paid, this can really cramp cash flow, especially if you're making decisions based on money that's supposed to come in. Dee's going to tell you some stories about companies that failed, not because they didn't have a great product, not because they didn't have a great customer service, but because they did not secure the bag. Welcome to the show, everybody. Miss Dee Bowden, how are you doing today?
Well, good evening, everybody, to George Dandridge and to Boss Talk Radio. Thank you so much for having me as a guest to talk about, hey, what had happened was in Collect the Cash. The sale is not complete until the money is actually in the bank. Glad to be here. I'm excited to have this conversation. All things Collect the Cash. Let's, as they say, let's get after it. Let's go.
Well, the first thing I have to know, of all the things to do on planet Earth, how did you end up doing collections? That's like a thankless job.
Well, so here's what had happened was. So seriously, what had happened is that I actually got into this. So you know how it is. We have to tell a story. So let me go ahead. So let me introduce myself to your audience. I am Dee Bowden. I'm originally from Boston, and I live in the great state of Maryland. Fun facts about me: I love Ferris wheels, smooth jazz, great wine, whether it's red or white. Those are my things. But here's how I got into this. So about 15 years ago, I used to work for a small IT company outside of Boston, where I'm from. You know how it is when you get hired for a company. Welcome aboard. Here's your cubicle. Here's that box and that special little plant. I don't know what it is about these plants, but they always got this little dried up plant that they bring you. They're like, I guess it's supposed to make you feel better. Anyway, the company hires me because they said, we've got $8 million in outstanding receivables. I'm like, y'all got what? They're like, for real, we got $8 million. We done sold IT services, software licenses, all the things, and we have $8 million. And we don't have a plan to collect it. I'm like, really? So I'm a believer. So my part of the story goes like this. I take my list of accounts. I go to God. Conversation goes like this. Hey, God. Yes, Dee. How are you? You know what, God? Overall, I am fantastic. But your word says you have not because you ask not. I need a clue, God, on what I'm supposed to do to collect $8 million. Now, listen to the story, y'all. I'm a part-time collector. I work Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. Okay. Part-time. Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. They give me $8 million to collect. I said, Like I said, I went to God, got quiet. And what came up for me was that business to business and business to government collections, which is my two specialties, is problem solving, aka what had happened was customer service, problem solving. Problem solving, customer service, gratitude. So let me try to say it again. It's problem solving, customer service, and gratitude. I said, okay, problem solving. I got to figure out what happened, because you can't sell $8 million worth of sales of IT services, products, and services and not get paid. And here was the thing. Nobody on the team, now mind you, like I said, I'm a part-time person doing this. Nobody on the team was able to figure this out. I said, oh, okay. Nobody got on the phone to ask the questions. Because when you make your sale, the sale is not complete until the money is actually in the bank. But when you don't stop and ask the questions of, why haven't you paid me? Is there a problem? Is there a shortage of services? Did you not get what you need? When you don't answer those questions, you don't get paid. So what I found out, like I said, problem solving, customer service, gratitude. First thing, I'll give y'all a perfect example. I told y'all there was $8 million in outstanding receivables. Okay, bet. There was one company that owed, out of the $8 million, they owed $2 million. And here's the thing that was like, this is the thing that set collected cash all the way off. I get on the phone, I talk to the vendor, and I said, hi, I'm Dee, I'm on behalf of such company, calling to find out how come you haven't paid us. They said, oh, we changed the billing system. It would be like this. You used to use Microsoft Excel, and now you're using QuickBooks, but nobody told you that they switched systems. I said, y'all switched systems? Yeah. When did you notify all your clients? Oh, we sent out emails weeks ago. Really? Can I get a copy of that email that you sent out to all your vendors saying you switched systems and we needed to resubmit invoices? Okay, cool. I get the email. I go talk to the controller, and she says, they did what? I said, yeah, they switched it. They switched billing systems. So guess what, y'all? In one phone call, problem solving, $2 million is fixed in a week by reformatting invoices from an old system, basically, aka Microsoft Excel, to current system, QuickBooks. Problem solving. Get on the phone. More phone calls. More things. Customer service. Following up on the deliverables that were sent to the customers and finding out, did you get everything? Is everything good? Yeah. We just haven't cut the check. Okay. Well, what's it going to take for you to cut the check? Oh, let's do other things. So, $8 million. Go to God. I get my 3 clues. Problem solving, customer service, gratitude. I do that. I collect $6 million. Y'all hear me? I started out with 8. I collect 6 in 60 days. I'm still part-time, Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. Now, the CEO of the company calls us all downstairs and says, listen, I want to thank everybody for your services. That's across sales, order entry, order fulfillment, invoicing, and my lane, aka collections, accounts receivable. Thank you all. We've made an executive decision. We're closing the company. 2 months before Christmas, 100 people, a small business of less than 100 people, out of a job, including me. Now, because this is a business show, I can't tell y'all what I really thought or what I really said, but trust and believe I had some choice words. But what I learned was that this situation of not managing AR, accounts receivable, happens more often than we realize. And because it's been put as part of back office, because it's been put as part of, we don't deal with this because we're so focused on the front end, which is get the sale, get the sale, get the sale. Here's what you miss. Sales and AR, they go together. Because I know the people who do sales, you get the sale, you get the quota, you get the commission. On the back end, your sale is not complete until the money's in the bank. So you got to get the sale, but you also got to make sure you get paid. And when sales and AR learn to work together, that's how things really change. And so when I looked at this 15 years ago, I fast forward to 2020, we're in the midst of COVID. I'm watching Broadway, sport, all sports, arenas closing, concerts done. Here's the thing: there were all of those different entities of business had contracts with small business owners. Imagine you're in Broadway. You're expecting the show to go live. You finally got the contract to sell your tchotchkes, your t-shirts, your mugs, whatever. You don't get to do that. So which means there are no sales, there's no money coming in. I'm watching my story over and over and over again. I'm like, I have to tell this story. And I also have to teach business owners how to track their sales, track their invoices, and track their payments. And what do you do when you don't get paid? and which is why Collect the Cash was launched. Actually, was written during COVID, and then launched officially in Times Square on a New York Times billboard. In Times Square on a billboard, and it was launched there, and it's gone global, and it's been an amazing thing. But the reason I really wrote Collect the Cash is because of watching business owners lose payments, lose sales, and they don't know what to do, because the bigger thing is this: you get the sale, but I understand that you're afraid to engage your client for payment because you're afraid you're going to lose that relationship. I contend is this: if you were strong enough and bold enough to get the sale, you need to be just as strong enough to get your payments, and that's where Collect the Cash came from.
And that's an amazing story, and we're going to bless the audience when we come back from break, because you don't really have what I would call a conventional approach about it. So we're going to get into this area of heavy focus for you, which is gratitude. We're going to talk about the processes, which I think is where the breakdown comes in that process. And I'm even going to share with them what I've learned so far. We'll be back right after this.
This is Dr. Tamia Gass with Rejuvenating Chiropractic.
This is Nara Reed with Modified Nutrition Health Coach.
This is Karen Marcel with June Street Barbershop.
This is Tiffany Marcel with Marcel Luxury Realty, and you're listening to Boss Talk Radio.
Capital, the number one reason businesses fail. If your business is in need of funding or you need capital to fulfill a contract, you need Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services. We work with over 80 unconventional lenders to match you with the funding you need. Get up to $75,000 in 3 business days with one simple application. Visit elite8financial.com to complete a quick application. One of our loan specialists will contact you for verification, then match you with the best lender options. Your funding will arrive to your account within 3 business days. Give us a call today at 866-2ELITE8 to get started. Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services, what your business needs before it needs it. Get behind the shield.
Knowledge, integrity, security, service. Get behind the shield.
Taking payments from today's different platforms makes it harder to manage your business. Dealing with varying fees, reporting, and deposit times not only impacts your cash flow, it makes reconciliation a nightmare. Besides, all the payments are still tied to a debit or credit card. Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services provides your business with payment solutions that make reporting simple. You can manage inventory, post shopping carts, take POS payments, ACH payments, send invoices, and so much more. Most businesses save over $2,500 a year in processing fees, a real impact on your bottom line. To learn more and get customized payment solutions, visit elite8financial.com or give us a call at 866-2ELITE8. Get behind the shield.
We're back. Premiere season 3 on Boss Talk Radio, and we have none other than Dee Bowden in the building, teaching you guys how to collect the cash. So right before we went on break, we were talking about how the sale isn't complete until the money's in the bank. And
Absolutely.
Of course, the salesperson, and I talked about this in one of my talks when I speak, is the internal customer service, meaning that every department within a business has to understand who their customer is, because
Absolutely.
the salesperson is only really as good as the people who fulfill the salesperson's promise, because that's
Can
where.
you say that again for the people in the back? Because I promise you, they're not getting that. Because see, that's it. That's why my 3 keys are problem solving, customer service, and gratitude. So please say that part again for the people in the back, because I know they didn't hear you.
Yeah, the salesperson is only as good as the team that's fulfilling their promise, because their confidence in their sale is the confidence in the team that's fulfilling the process or the product or the service. Now, the other side of that, though, and this is what really resonated with me, because I deal with a lot of micro businesses and whatnot. And so one of the things that stood out to me was not having these processes in place. It's like a complete afterthought. Like nobody gets it until they get it. Like until it's a real problem, nobody even addresses it. And that's one part of it. But I'll tell you right now, I saw something that blew me away because I was guilty of it before I had my operations department. You know, I would have calendar reminders for people that wasn't on ACH that I would send them, but I sent it on the due date. And so sometimes this would take 7, 14, 21 days before I was paid or what have you. And it would be frustrating, but I never gave consideration to, is the person responsible for paying this maybe on vacation and not checking emails or so forth and so on. And so you mentioned sending a notice a couple of weeks in advance before you actually send the invoice, you know, and I was like, wow, something so simple makes such a big difference.
Because here's the thing, people don't think about, because here's the thing, when you're in business, you are all in about your thing. It's always my service, my product, my this, my that. Here's the thing, you have to build relationships. You're not in the business of selling anything. You're in the business of relationships, and how you get their sale, how you get paid, how you problem solve is all about building relationships. So in my book, I talk to you about setting up your system. I teach you how to set up your tracking system, which basically is the name of your customer, the contract number, the amount of the contract, the items that were sold, when you're supposed to deliver it to them, when you're supposed to bill them, which means invoice, when you're supposed to get paid, and then there's a column called notes, because sometimes, as beautiful as your product or service is, things happen. It's called life. That's why you have notes, so that when you go through and you look at all the things, you're like, okay, I have the customer, I have the contract number, I have the dollar amount, I have what I was supposed to sell them, I have what I was supposed to deliver to them, I invoiced them on time, but I didn't get paid. What is in your what notes do you have to remind yourself, oh, I got to follow up on that? Because here's the thing, the fortune is always in the follow-up. I don't care if it's $1 or $1 million. The fortune is always in the follow-up. And whether you as a business owner do this or you have somebody on your team does this for you, you have to follow up. And if you're not good with it, then you got to figure out, okay, I don't like doing this part. Okay, that's fine, because all of us, here's the thing, all of us in business don't like doing all the things in business. Everybody doesn't like to sell. Everybody doesn't like do marketing. Everybody doesn't like invoicing. Everybody does definitely, I know this for sure, most people don't like doing collections. They would rather get a root canal than have to go ask a client for their money. But when your cash flow is held up, listen, I know, I do this. I know when your cash flow is held up, you learn how to sit up just a little bit straighter in your chair, and you go, okay, I need to get on this phone because I need this cash. And you learn how to problem solve, how to do customer service, because your cash flow is tied to three things: problem solving. If they haven't paid you, what happened? Or as I like to say, what had happened was, what's the breakdown? Because you could have, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody who's listening right now has a cell phone, whether you're team iPhone or team Android. Perfect time to give you this example. When you go buy the phone, it goes like this. You walk into the store and they say, welcome to whatever store it is. May I have your driver's license? The first thing they're doing is they're confirming who you are. The sales process is already starting before you even recognize it, and they do it so smoothly. They confirm who you are. That's step one. Number two, oh, you have a Samsung 20. They are probably up to 22 by now, or whatever number it is. If you're on a team iPhone, I don't know if it's 10, 12, I done lost track. Anyway, whatever team you're on, iPhone or Samsung, they're already going to start this. They're starting the sales process by telling you you're eligible for an upgrade. Already starts. Next thing you know, boom. Why don't you walk around the store and see what new phone you would like to upgrade to? They've already started the conversation about the sale. Next thing you know what? Oh yeah, I've been noticing that my phone isn't holding on my pictures, my phone isn't doing whatever, etc., etc., etc. So the sale. So I'm going to teach you what happens in business. So the sale process already started when you came into the store. They confirm who you are. They get all your information, confirm you are. Then the sale process starts. Next thing you know, you found out you're eligible for an upgrade. You done said yes. Now that you done found the new phone with the watch that goes with it, with the battery, the battery free charger, and all the other things, you done said yes to a new contract before you even left the store. So step 1, sales happen. Step 2, new contract. Step 3, order fulfillment. Before you even purchase everything, they have on the back of the box the barcode, which gets scanned into the system. So order fulfillment happens right there. Before you even leave, next you know, Mr. Dandridge, what date would you like your invoice? What date would you like your bill? You tell them, oh, you know what? I get paid. I'm just, using as an example. I get paid on the 25th. So I want my bill to be due on the 25th of the month. Perfect. Somebody sitting right in the system, putting that information in right there. So the sale, contract, order fulfillment, order entry, invoicing is already set up, and then. Then they tell you your payment will be due on the 25th. Next thing you know, the invoice is already scheduled for the next month. You ain't even left the store.
Right.
You ain't even left the store. Then they say, oh, well, in order for you to upgrade to this new phone, you have to, if you have a phone that's on a payment plan, you got to pay off the new phone, or you can put that new phone toward the new, you take your old phone, put it toward the new phone, get the credit, upgrade, pay the difference, and then they're like, well, Mr. Dandridge, you need to pay the balance of whatever it is. You settle that up. Then you are so excited because you got the new phone, the new gadgets, the new earbuds, the new frame, the new protection for the phone, all the things. And then guess what? They take your cash or your credit card or your debit card and they do swipe. And guess what? You're waiting for these two magical words: transaction approved, aka the sale. It is not complete until the money's in the bank, because you're not leaving that store until they get that money out your account, and you don't get that. You get that confirmation on your receipt. What I just described to you is what happens in business every single day. You sell something, you have a contract or an agreement, you have order fulfillment, whether it's service or product. You're going to invoice either 30, 60, 90 days. You're going to deliver the product. You're going to do that, and then you're going to collect your cash, and then you leave. And that's what happens. And so that process happens over and over and over again. The breakdown is where when you don't get to leave with that magical word or transaction approved. But here's the thing. In this case, you don't get to leave the store because they will not let you leave the store until you confirm payment. Now, if something goes wrong with your credit card, if your debit card doesn't work, they'll ask you, do you have another card? Can you pay cash? We can split the payments. They want to work with you because guess what? They're doing customer service. When I talked about earlier about collect the cash, there's 3 things: it's problem solving, customer service, and gratitude. If it happens to the best of us. If you're short with payments, they're like, okay, we can split this. You have some cash, we'll take the cash and we'll debit the rest. Or you have a debit card and you're short and you give cash. They are doing problem solving. They're solving the problem for you to leave as a satisfied customer. They're doing excellent customer service because they want to make sure that before you leave the store, that every issue is solved. Your phone is activated. All the things that you want with your phone are addressed. You need a new charger. You need a new protector. You need new earbuds. You get the watch. You get all the things. They're doing that. And then at the end of the entire transaction, thank you for shopping with whoever it is, whichever phone service you're with. They do gratitude every time. Y'all may be saying, okay, Dee, what does gratitude have to do with collecting the cash? Everything. If you are in business, I promise you, right now we're in Q4. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're in the fourth quarter 2021. In about a month, maybe 2, you're going to start getting these holiday cards. Thank you for being our customer. We want to wish you happy holidays, season's greetings, all the things. We appreciate the fact that you've been with us all year. We wish you a great holiday season, and we look forward to servicing you in 2022. Why are they doing that? That's called customer service, and it's called gratitude, because they realize as a business owner, you have a choice where you spend your money. And all those little things of following up, expressing gratitude, recognizing that you're their customer. You've been with them all year. You had a choice all year where you were going to spend your money, and the fact that you chose to do business with them all year long, the least they can do is send you a Christmas card or a holiday card to say thank you. The hotels that you go to, some of the depending upon which brand, when you walk in, I think it's the DoubleTree. Most people know them because they got warm chocolate chip cookies. That's customer service. You walk up in there, you're like, it takes you back to being a little kid. You be good and grown. You're an executive. You pop your collar, all the things. You look up, you're like, man, I can't believe this warm chocolate chip cookies got me all giddy and goofy and all the. You see, George's over here cracking up because he knows I'm telling the truth. Listen, that warm chocolate chip cookie be like, man, I remember when I was a kid. And next thing you know, you sitting in the lobby telling the story about you and a warm chocolate chip cookie. You're like, really?
I have to laugh because recently.
See, you're gonna confirm my story. Go ahead, tell them.
Recently, I was at a DoubleTree in Houston, and I caught an attitude because there was no. I got an attitude. They didn't have any chocolate chip cookies. I was like, really? Whose job was it to make sure that you had one job?
All you had to do is make sure the warm chocolate chip cookies were on point when I rolled up in this building. But here's the thing. Now, that piece of customer service with their brand, with how they're known, you could have gone to the front desk and said something. I guarantee you, if that message had gotten to the hotel manager, I promise you probably would have had a batch of chocolate chip cookies before you left the building. Listen, because customer service is everything. What people don't understand is, even when you collect the cash, when you're doing in my lane, I do business to business to government. So I'm dealing with CEOs and contracting officers on the government side. I'm dealing with CFOs. I'm dealing with all kinds of people that I have to build relationships because I just can't walk into my listen. It don't go down like that. We have to have a conversation. I have to do investigation. When my clients come to me and they send me D, I'm owed $40,000. I gotta find out. I'm answering the ultimate question. What had happened was, tell me the story. And you're like, are you serious? Well, when you're owed 30, 60, 90 days past due, there's a story. Your job is as the CEO of the company or the CFO of the company is to find out what happened, or as I like to say, what had happened was because there's a problem. Because normally if the cycle goes correctly, like what I described, the sale, the contract, order fulfillment, invoicing, payments, it goes smooth. There's not a problem. The issue is my expertise has been dealing with the people that have had the problems because something. Okay, I'll give you an example. Data entry errors. I cannot tell you, George, the amount of data entry errors that have happened over the course of my career and also working with clients, because somebody was sitting there chit-chatting, they were sitting there keying in information and didn't double check it, and then they hit the button and it went on, and then I'm sure you have probably had to call in and confirm some information. You're like, nah, my middle initial is this. Like, nah, it's this. No, I'm telling you, my name is this and this. Oh, and you have them read it back to you, and you realize somebody made a data entry error. I can tell you, for me working with government agencies and dealing with large corporations, a lot of problem solving has been data entry errors because somebody is rushing to get things done. I teach about problem solving is that sometimes it's a data entry error. So when you talked earlier, George, about the salesperson and they're as good as the team that supports them, that includes the people that key in the information, that key in that sales order, that key in the quote, all those things. It's all those things that most people are like, that doesn't matter. Well, when you're trying to collect $1,000, $5,000, in my case, millions of dollars, data entry is everything. And when the information is put in incorrectly, that's a problem. So problem solving is number one. Customer service is when the people who will take the time to help you solve your problem. I talk about customer service because most people are like, when they think about customer service, they think more about, I'm calling in, I placed the order, I ordered 10 sneakers, I only got 8, I paid for 10, I didn't get my other 2, what are you going to do for me? But the other part is, as a business owner, when you have clients, customer service to your clients is everything. When things don't go right, your job is before they get on these social media streets and start hollering about the fact that something went left, Your job is to find out what happened. So if it's redoing something, resubmitting an invoice, finding out if they're for example, if you deal I deal a lot with governments and corporations, so that's my story. So if you're dealing with a government agency, if you're dealing with a corporation, if you're dealing with it could even be at the state level. When they tell you our invoices need to be formatted in this format and you don't pay attention and don't do it right, that's a problem. Your job as customer service is to go get on the phone and find out what did we miss, number one. Number two, thank the person who takes the time to give you the phone, who takes your call, number one, who explains to you what you missed and allows you to course correct it so you can basically set up a template of how you need to do this going forward. And then the gratitude is that you know that once you fix this, you're getting paid. I have hundreds of stories of doing this and it works. That's why when you mention my credentials, it's because of what I've done that works.
We're gonna make a U-turn and put this thing in park for a second, because I do not want the audience, and the audience cannot afford to miss this message right here. I want to get out the shovel, and we're going to go a little deeper into this thing. If you've been following the show for a while, you may have seen either my episode or caught me on any talks where I talk about the art and science of customer service. And what Dee is telling you right here at this moment, I like the way George Zimmer, former CEO of the Men's Warehouse, said it this way. He said, the reason I have an entire department dedicated to customer service is because if someone calls to complain, they are looking for a way to continue to do business with you. People that are just done with you are too upset they're not even bothering to call. They're just done, and that what you broke down was that how this has to happen at multiple levels, not just the end user or end consumer, because all of that factors in to collecting the cash. So I want to talk to my small business owners right now and have you understand that even within your pricing model, you have to have a little bit of leverage to tolerate your own mistakes so that you're not just taking a loss, because what you don't want to do is put all of this effort and energy, and because the hardest thing to do is attract a customer. You don't want to actually get a customer and then have to lose them because of something in the sales cycle that broke down or whatever, because best case scenario, you may have to give them their money back. Worst case scenario, you lose the opportunity for repeat business. And Dee mentioned the social media streets. This is not like in the 80s and 90s where the circle of 250 was a thing where you upset a customer and their influence was 250 people and only 25 of them really was going to know about it. We understand that everybody talks about bad news first and good news, quick to praise, slow to praise and quick to criticize. But here's the other side of that is on these social media streets, that circle of 250 is more like a circle of 2 million a lot of times. So you guys,
and it's so important to talk about this, George, because what people don't understand is this: your reputation, your business. You could be in business for a week or for many, many, many years. You have put blood, sweat, and tears into creating your brand, your integrity, your services, your products, all the things. The companies that we admire for longevity is because they've done the three things I talk about. They talk about problem solving, customer service, gratitude. Let's take Walmart. When you leave, what do they tell you? Thank you for shopping at Walmart. Walmart does this every day. Thank you for shopping at Walmart. They do gratitude because they know you have a choice. They do customer service. You can disagree, but they do customer service. They problem solve. They figured out how to create a business model that serves everybody. and it continues. They've got bulk products. They solve that you can get what you need. They do problem solving, they do customer service, and they do gratitude. The thing is this: it's a constant thing to deal with this in business, because you're like, okay, well, Dee, I didn't sign up for that. I understand that. And because here's the thing, these social media streets paint business as, George, you appreciate this. Remember I Dream a Genie?
Yeah.
That's what these social media streets do. They present business as it is this I Dream a Genie. You just do this and everything magically happens. That is a bold-faced lie. Business requires strategy, information, systems, a process, a service, a product, marketing. It's basically, if you take my phone example, that's what real business is. It's all those things. It's sales, it's contract, it's order fulfillment, it's order entry, it's invoicing, and it's payments and notes. When things go wrong, somebody's got to remember what had happened was that part. That's the real part of business. What gets done out in these social media streets is that everybody keeps presenting, if you just do these 3 things, you'll be a millionaire by tomorrow. They're lying, number one. Number two, people don't tell you that business takes a long time. You have to learn things, because here's the thing. Most of us, when we start our business, we've been a great employee for somebody else. The somebody else that you work for has done the sales, has the contracts, has the order fulfillment, does the invoicing, gets paid. They have the system that you as a business owner have to learn how to do it. And so the social media piece I talk about jokingly is that everybody talks about, oh, my brand. Your brand, old school, is your reputation. And if you don't deliver on what you say, I joke about it, but I mean it sincerely. It takes somebody 30 seconds. I could take my phone right now, and while we live, I could holler and go, I'm on the phone, and go live and talk about, I had this horrible experience with it's not true. And I'm just saying, but I could use that as an example and say I had a horrible experience. That's not the case. Please hear me. I am not saying I've had a horrible experience, because somebody would take a quote and say, listen.
That's another consequence of things that happen in social media. And I think
right. And they'll do that. They'll do that so quickly. So what I'm saying is that here's what people don't teach you about business. Business is relationships. Business is also grace. When George and I understand old school, there are some problems you can't solve in 144 characters. You got to get on the phone. You got to say, can I meet you for coffee or tea or whatever you sip on? Can we meet and talk about this and figure out this? Because sometimes in translation, even though I have the best intention to explain to you what had happened, you don't understand it. So, the millions of dollars that I have collected over the years, sometimes it's meant doing this. Bring me your contract and all your invoices. Come meet me here. Let's get a conference room. I'm getting some tea. You get your coffee. We're getting some bagels. Show me what had happened was. Oh my gosh, Dee, I didn't see that part. Exactly. Because 144 characters is not going to address all of that. All the emails are not going to address all that. Sometimes even if you put it on a Zoom call and you got my screen, your screen, we sharing everything. Sometimes you got to sit in the room and break it down from the beginning and trace what had happened and go, that's why my 3 keys to collect the cash are problem solving, customer service, gratitude. I know that when you do problem solving, you have to peel back all the layers to get to the heart of what went wrong from the beginning. You do a course correction and then you fix it. And then when you do that, you don't keep making the same mistakes. A lot of times people just won't even sit down and talk to you about the mistake that was made, nor do you get a chance to fix it or correct it, because, oh my gosh, well, my brand. Well, your brand will be broke if you don't fix the problem. How about that part?
Yeah. And I want to get your feedback on this part, because gratitude isn't discussed enough, in my opinion. There is a social media subculture right now that I absolutely hate. And what it is that business owners, something like business owners, people that want to be business owners,
all the things, yeah,
are having these, for lack of better words, attitudes of entitlement to a customer and to their money or what have you. I used to do sales training, and I remember the impact this would have on salespeople that were new when you told them, you know, hey, take somebody that makes $10 an hour and you're selling this $400 product, and they're exchanging 40 hours or more for this product, 40 hours away from their children, 40 hours away from their loved ones and whatnot. You can't afford to treat them anything less than gracious, because at the end of that, because of their exchange for their 40 hours, you're now able to eat. You know, and today, exactly. I don't know where it went wrong. Maybe it wasn't social media. I don't know, but that's all I can attribute it to. Why are people?
Let's pause that. Give me 30 seconds. We'll come back to that, but I will be right back. Let me pause this and we'll be right back.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
Life insurance, the most affordable, risk-free, wealth-building tool in history. Advances in life insurance allow you to plan for college, retirement, invest it, unexpected living expenses, and has the power to change the outlook of the next generation. Experts say most Americans are underinsured or have outdated policies. Your life policies should be optimized every 5 years or whenever there is a major life event. Call 866-235-4838 or visit us online at elite8financial.com/life insurance to have the experts at Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services provide you a free quote or a free evaluation of your existing coverage. If you won't do it for you, do it for them. Get behind the shield.
This is Dr. Tamia Guest with Rejuvenating Chiropractic.
This is Nara Reed with Modified Nutrition Health Coach.
This is Karen Marcel with June Street Barbershop.
This is Tiffany Marcel with Marcel Luxury Realty, and you're listening to Boss Talk Radio.
Have you ever said,
I'll hire an accountant when my business becomes profitable?
Are you working with an accountant that's only providing bookkeeping and tax services?
Get behind the shield.
The experts at Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services has a solution. Virtual CFO services can put your business in the black faster and help you make data-driven decisions. Boss Virtual CFO Services offers strategic planning, risk management, report analysis, HR financial guidance, tax planning, and much more. Schedule your consultation today at elite8financial.com or give us a call at 866-2-ELITE-8. Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services, what your business needs before it needs it.
We're back on Boss Talk Radio with Dee Bowden, and we were talking about this sense of entitlement that exists out here on these social media streets. Where does this culture come from? What is this about?
I personally believe that it came about because of the fact that, number one, people haven't been taught that. When you and I grew up, there were some basic tenements that we were taught. Please and thank you, respect your elders, work hard, go to school, or go serve in the military. You know, you just couldn't like not do something. And I believe that there was also another, as people, you know, grew and excelled in their businesses, they were like, well, my kids are not going to have to work as hard as I did because this, that, and the third. But there are some basic tenets that the kids that today, they still don't know what hard work is. They still don't know what integrity is. They still don't know what loyalty is. They still don't know basic values that matter. And so they feel like, well, because, you know, I went to such and such school, I graduated from this, I've done this, I should get this. And they want in 30 days what their parents worked 30 years for. That part. And they think because I went to an Ivy League school or I went to this, that, and the third, that entitles me to get this. No. Because here's the thing. All the people, even if the millennials, the people that you admire, they have a work ethic. They show up. They go to work. They do the drills. They sing the songs. They practice the routines. They fry the chicken. They make the cookies. Whatever it is, they do it over and over and over again. When you see them on social media today, that's because they've been putting in the work for years. I think that there are a lot of people that are afraid of those 4 letters, WORK. I think they're afraid of that because it's like, well, why should I have to do that? Well, the way this world works is you work for what you want. All the people that we have admired across every industry have been working their craft. They've gone to school. They've gotten training. They have coaches. They've invested in themselves. They have realized that I don't know how, for example, I don't know how to play basketball. I need a coach. The teams that we admire across all the sports have coaches. Why? Because the coach has a plan for how they get the team to success. And the players decide, I'm going to listen to the coach and do the work. That means I'm going to the gym. I'm working on my body. I'm going to watch the film and learn how the other team moves and plays so I can get better. So when I defend this person, I know how they move and what they do, so I'm ready. That means I'm reading books on mindset. I'm getting myself prepared. I'm changing my negative self-talk. I'm doing the things. That's called work. Everybody that we admire, even those of you that are younger, the people that you admire, they do the work. When you decide that you will do the work, you will see your life and your business change. It is not, I dream of Jeannie. It isn't, it's not. And when you stop believing the hype that's on social media and you recognize you have to do the work, that's when you'll see things change. I'll give you an example. The $6 million that I collected for that company, it was years ago. I didn't do it through osmosis. I did the work. The first piece of work I did was I went to God because I'm a believer. I asked God for information. I asked him for a strategy. What do I need to do? What came up was you have to problem solve. You have to do customer service. You have to do gratitude. If you look at all the businesses that we admire today across all industries, every time you sit and talk to an entrepreneur, they're going to tell you, I've put in long hours to get this thing off the ground. I have scrimped. I have saved. I've driven Uber. I've done DoorDash. I done sold cookies, whatever. The point is that they recognize that in order for them to have the business, for it to become successful, they've put in the work. All the artists that y'all like today, they don't just pop up on stage today. They're in the studio. They're practicing. They're dancing. They're singing. They're rapping. Whatever they're doing, but they're doing the work. You do not get out of this life without doing the work, especially if you plan on being successful. Now, if you don't plan on doing nothing, hey, listen. As Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? Keep doing that part. Now, if you want to do something different, then you're going to do the work. And doing the work means sometimes you have to take classes. Sometimes you have to get a coach. Sometimes you have to go to the Small Business Administration and take those classes. Sometimes you have to go to SCORE. Sometimes you have to work with George and his team to learn, how do I set up my financial system so that I don't keep being broke after I make all this money and I have nothing to show for it. That part.
Yeah, the putting in the work. I tell people, overnight success is usually about 10 years.
Or more.
At least 10 years. Before we get out of here, I wanted to go ahead and have your links put up, but I wanted to make sure I had the right one for the book.
Well, that's okay. So the book link is I'll help you out. It's www.collectthecash.biz/book. Because right now you've got my Facebook and my LinkedIn account. So let's swap that out.
So it's www.collectthecash.
No, www.collectthecash.biz/book.
/book. Okay, so I had that one wrong at first. That's why I wanted to ask you for sure before we got out of here. So you can follow Dee at facebook.com/d.bowden or on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/n/D Bowden. And to purchase the book, you can go to www.collectthecash.biz/book. Don't know if I lost you there, Dee. I wanted to find out if
there I am. Yeah,
you want to leave the audience with as it relates to that process. Because honestly, I could talk to you about gratitude, the gratitude part, forever, because it was something that benefited me without me even realizing that it mattered to people. The customer service part, well, I teach that, so it's in me. But I got to tell this story about gratitude because
please tell the story.
It was just the weirdest thing. So I have this client that's been with me at least 5 years. We haven't had to have an in-office appointment in at least 3 years. His whole family, they come to me, they take care of everything digitally or whatever. And just this year, 2021, he basically was insisting that we have an in-office appointment. And I could not figure out why. I thought something was wrong. I was like, there's something underlying here. So I'm going back and checking previous emails. I'm like, did I miss something somewhere here? And his wife wasn't able to make it to the appointment, but he was there, Johnny on the spot or whatever. We take care of the normal stuff we need to take care of. And I'm sitting there completely perplexed, like, why did this require an in-office appointment? Like, I'm perplexed. So we're shooting the breeze on the way to walk him out, and we get to the door, and he stops me and like makes sure that I'm looking him square in the eye. And he thanks me. He wanted me to see him and look at him when he thanked me. He held my hand real firm and sincerely gave me thanks. And at that point, I really didn't understand why it was so serious, but here's what happened. Over that prior year, we had started sending out, we'd been sending out Christmas cards for a while, but over that prior year, we had started sending out birthday cards. I had seen on social media that he had lost one of his parents. We sent an arrangement. And a few months later, he lost the other parent. They had been together 60 plus years or whatever. And he lost his other parent. And, we did the same thing for him. But in my mind, that was just a human thing. I wasn't attempting customer service. I was showing that, you're really more than a client, and we appreciate you and respect you. But to him, it was everything, and it was just reciprocal altruism of gratitude that just came full circle and was like, wow. And it told me, hey, people are paying attention, keep doing, what you're doing or whatever, that it really means something to somebody,
Oh yeah. And I'll jump in and tell you this right now, George. As you were telling the story, I'm sitting here feeling like, wow. First of all, great story. Second, that piece of gratitude. First of all, two things. One, you saw that something personal happened to him. As the CEO of your company, you paused and said, this is not just my client, but this is another human being. You put yourself in their shoes. What would it be like if I lost, a parent or a good friend or whatever, and you went beyond what's expected to let them know you matter? That's the part of gratitude that most people don't get. That's old school. That's old school. because most people will send you, if you do it on Facebook, it's my condolences. For somebody to pause and say, I'm sorry for your loss. You sent an arrangement. You checked in. You did above and beyond, not because he's just your client, but the fact of the matter is that he's another human being. You could see the impact of him losing his parent. It mattered. I can tell you, I don't even knowing the man, why he had to come see you, because he had to come look you in your eye and tell you, George, thank you for being you. Thank you, George, for making a difference. Thank you for sitting up taller in your chair and being a real man and showing us what real CEOs do. Real CEOs step up and do the things that most won't do, which is that part. That's why he had to come and tell you, thank you, face to face. It's that part.
Yeah. I wish we would see more of this in this time. Obviously, we don't expect the super large corporations to do this, but my mindset is it's the small businesses that really are, or should be anyway, vested in the communities that they do business in, and to use the words of the financial industry, know their client, know the customer, beyond the transaction. I think that's the word. I think we've become so transactional in business. And I don't know, it erodes something,
Yeah, because he was no longer customer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, account number, blah 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 blah. Swipe. He became his name, etc. And you did when I talked earlier about the old school values. That's what I'm talking about. That's why my 3 keys are problem solving, customer service, gratitude, is because gratitude is that value. It's not taught, it's caught.
Say that with again for the people in the back. That was
gratitude isn't taught, it's caught. Because when you see it displayed, you know it. There's no big fanfare. There's no I gotta go on social media and do an Instagram reel or Instagram story. No, it's real simple. Something happened. I recognized that my client was hurting. I wanted to show compassion. Like I said, my personal faith. So I walked out my faith and just did it. Like our grandparents used to do. They would do that and not make a big deal about it. They would just do stuff and just, baby, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me back. Just accept the gift and keep it moving. Do me a favor. You want to do something for me? Pay it forward. That's what we need to get back to. Pay it forward. That part.
And I know the audience has gotten much more than they suspected from the marketing on the flyer on Collect the Cash. I know everybody jumped in like, oh, George gonna tell us how to get this bag or whatever. But I couldn't have scripted this. I could have planned this better to really talk about those elements, because we always talk about putting process in place and so forth and so on. And obviously problem solving is the key, but I absolutely love those 2 other elements that you inserted in there, which is not just saying customer service like a lip service, but really serving, understanding the customer is beyond the person paying the invoice or whatever, like servicing the customer. But that last part, that gratitude piece. Dee, thank you so much for being on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We will definitely be following your journey because I know you're speaking like everywhere. If you guys haven't done so already, go to collectthecash.biz/book. Amazing read, lots of information. You will be enlightened. Like I said earlier, something as simple as sending a notice a couple of weeks in advance before the invoice. Big difference. I didn't know that until I had hired somebody to come on. They cost me way more than this book. So, I had to learn the expensive way, D.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's part of life and it's part of business. There are times that you aren't going to get the lesson until you make a mistake. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of mistakes I've made along the way. And when I figured out this system, and then I saw the success, over and over and over again. And as I shared, for the people who might not have caught this, this came from a personal journey. This is not out of some graduate school book. This is Dee Bowden's personal journey. I lived this, and then I decided last year to, after watching my story on the big screen over and over and over again with other companies, to tell the story. And as my book coach said, Dee, you have a system. You can teach us how to win as small business owners. Teach us what you do. Teach us how to track our invoices. Teach us how, as you say it this way, teach us how not to make a fool out of ourselves when we're trying to collect these coins, when we don't know what to say, what to do. Teach us what you've done to win and in this game, because no one talks to us about this part. They talk to us all about sales and marketing and all the things. No one talks to us about collect the cash, secure the bag. And as a young guy says, where the money resides, where the money resides. Nobody talks to us about any of that stuff. You do. Teach us this. And so collect the cash is my legacy. It's the gift that will keep on giving long after God calls me home. It's more importantly is that this is, if you want to learn how to collect the cash the right way, here's the processes and systems and scripts that will teach you how to do it and how you will not mess up your relationships, which is very important because you're in the relationship business, not whatever you sell business.
And Dee just made me out of lie because so my team told me I needed to close in the focus and narrow this thing down to an hour. And I'm really trying to or whatever, but y'all know how I get when I get excited about something. So if you could bear with me a couple more minutes, I want to revisit this part about the relationships as specifically as it relates to collect the cash, because in that process of collections, and I need to find another word because that almost sounds abrasive in and of itself, is a negative connotation or what have you. But I see often relationships get damaged in an effort to collect the cash, probably because there wasn't a problem-solving piece, but just an aggressive, give me my money.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the? I don't know if that it's a science. Is it an art or a science? What's the thing? The thing there that you salvage the relationship but get the desired result.
Well, okay, so my experience is this. So again, I've worked in government agencies and corporations. I learned early on that in order to get people to work with me, I needed to build a relationship. I needed to not just get on the phone and say, "Hey, you owe me this invoice." I needed to, it was the pleasantries. It was the good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I speak with the person. Okay, so true story. The $6 million I collected, it went like this. I got every account that I had, getting on the phone. Hi, my name is Dee. May I speak with the person in accounts payable, please? Hey, Susie. Hey, John. Hey, how you doing? Good. How are you? You know what? Got a minute? I have this outstanding invoice, and we have a contract with y'all, and I need to find out what happened. Piece of paper and a pen, jot some notes down. They told me some things. Okay, cool. Some of it was the company had made some mistakes. On behalf of the company, I apologize. Now that I apologize, how can we work together to get to resolution? Okay, Dee, we need the following. All right, cool. Can you do me a favor? Now, again, I'm coming from corporate and government agencies. Can you send me an email that documents this so I can go back and figure this out? Because I didn't know this. I inherited this problem. So getting on the phone, building the relationships, problem solving. I think I say it throughout my book. Whenever people give you an opportunity to course correct something, when you pause and thank them, number one, they don't expect you to tell them thank you, because they're expecting you to bust them out and this, that, and the third. I learned when I paused and said thank you for taking my phone call, showing me the mistake that I made so I can course correct it, and then you're gonna work with me so I can get my check. That part is how I collected the millions of dollars, the thousands of dollars, and $1, was doing those things over and over and over again. And I just chronicled my journey and thought, okay, what did you do? You problem solved. You did customer service. You did gratitude. And I recognize, and every time somebody helped me, to collect the money for that company with the $6 million and the millions I've collected since then, I send a note of thanks to them. I either call them or I send an email. It's gratitude is that thing. And I have had people come back to me and tell me, D, nobody has come back and said thank you for what we do. And I realized that just like you, when you recognize your customer was not a customer, but it was a person that was grieving, when people are seen and they're heard and they're acknowledged, when they're seen, acknowledged, and valued, they'll go above and beyond for you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go above and beyond for you. But when you treat them like, you're just AP, you're just whatever, they're going to have the right back at you because they're like, nah, you're not going to treat me like that. But when you respect them, and here's the thing, the person you see today, I have been the data entry clerk. I've been the accounts payable clerk. I've been the accounts receivable clerk. I've been the contract administrator. I've been the person back in the day, people that work at Walmart and at Costco. I've been the person that is all those carts that have to get shagged up and put together. I've been that person. So I get it. So the person you see today has been the person that's done it. So this thing is personal to me because I've been that person. I have worked in the supermarket. I've gone and grabbed all those carts, and I know what it's like to have to schlep all those carts and put them together.
Is that part of the problem that too often people are inserted versus elevating? Is that?
Yeah, and they haven't had to work. They haven't had to grow through the processes. The person that's before you today has been doing this work for over 20 years, but I started off doing data entry.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes a big difference. And in the words of one of my first mentors and coaches, little things make you great. Just in what you just said, I just caught another thing that I can get better at, which is that final email. I am guilty of. This is the result of whatever. That's the end of the email thread, So I just picked up another tip, just that quick. Yeah. Dee, again, thank you so much for coming on. I know the audience has been blessed. Pick up the book, Collect the Cash, www.collectthecash.biz.
/book. Because there's two things. So this collect the cash.
I'm it off the screen here. Let me put it back down here.
Collectthecash.biz /book. You go right there, you'll get it. And here's the thing, y'all. When you get it from me directly, I personally sign them. I send you a bookmark. You get it personally. Show them, George.
Yeah, I'm about to show off a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see that, but mine personally signed in. I got my bookmark or whatever. I won't pull it out and lose my place. But
you get that directly from me. I sign every book.
And you know what? That was another example of the gratitude, So, because that was kind of a big deal to me. I can count the number of books I have autographed by an author, and I'm not into the ebooks and audio books or whatever. I like to turn a page. Something feels accomplished when I turn a page. So to have it signed was a pretty big deal for me. Thank you again.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Dee Bowden, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back right after this.
She cute. Style, comfort, and confidence. Shop with the trend in mind. She cute. Get the latest styles in outerwear, tops, jumpsuits, hats, and accessories. She cute. Shop from the comfort of your own home with confidence and quality products, hassle-free exchange, and free shipping over $65. She cute. Visit us online at SheCuteBoutique.com to shop our new fall collection.
Want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I wanted to leave you guys with this. If you haven't been on the website in a minute, we have officially launched the new coaching program. And the reason we wanted to do this, we understand that it's not in everybody's budget to hire full-time accounting and things of that nature. So we want to empower you with the tools and the knowledge to handle the back-end business. Now, the team kind of pushed me on this when I was very, very reluctant to put this program out there. And the reason being is because I think coaching in and of itself, the term is kind of like in vogue right now. or whatever. And so everybody's kind of saying this or whatever. So let me tell you what it's not. If you are looking to gain 5 million followers and influence on YouTube, this is not your program. But if you find that you're operating in the red and you are trying to figure out where the system is broken and how to get to that next level, not only will we be able to come in for you and kind of identify some of those problem areas, but provide you tools and solutions to fix those and follow up with you throughout the program to make sure that that's working, and if not, be able to tweak and adjust it or what have you. So if you find yourself operating in the red or barely getting by, go to bit.ly/boss coach and go ahead and fill out a questionnaire and sign up with us today. We will see you guys on Monday for Motivation, Tuesday for our tax tips. And so I also want to hear back from you guys. So do this for me if you would. I forgot to mention, well, give me a second, I'll get to that. The other thing I wanted to show you is if you love the commercials that we have, you can in fact advertise on Boss Talk Radio. The link is on the bottom of your screen. You can email sales@talkbossradio.com. We have some packages, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is another part where the team beat me up. I was like, all right, I get it, but we're going to leave the packages the same, at least throughout the end of the year. So this is your last chance to lock in some super great rates. You can run a commercial for the entire month across episodes for only $80. We have 60-second commercials, logo placement on the website, all kind of different stuff. So check out that package there. You can see the package on talkbossradio.com. You can go to advertising there. But I also wanted to have you guys, if you would, take down this email address. It is info@talkbossradio.com. Here's what I'd like you guys to do. I'd like you guys to go there and send me your questions or topics about tax matters, because what we're deciding to do, and we're not going to do it on this particular episode because we have to plan this thing out a little bit, but what we're going to do is, instead of doing Tax Tip Tuesday, we're going to put a tax segment at the end of every program, since that's what you guys know me for. And sometimes I get random questions in the chat while we're talking to a guest and we're not talking about something with tax. So we want to be able to meet you guys at your need. So again, that's info@talkbossradio.com. Please go there and leave me any questions that you have regarding tax matters or any matters you want to just hear discussed about taxes and/or business. If it's not something specifically in my lane, we will reach across industry. That's what our show is about. We will reach across industry and find the expert and bring them on Boss Talk Radio to get you the information you need. Till next time, see you guys later.
Boss Talk Radio, keeping it real, yeah, that's for sure. I said a Boss Talk Radio, here for your needs, we'll crack the code. He the boss, ooh, he the boss, ooh, yeah, he the boss, he's the boss, he the boss, he the boss.